Gary's still with us, Gary Mond, the chairman of the National Jewish Assembly. Gary, I wonder, with the changing political landscape that is happening, Donald Trump, of course, elected in America. We know that there will be changes in Middle Eastern policy, which I know is something you follow very, very closely, especially in relation to Israel. And I just wonder whether you're happy with that victory this week, whether things you think could perhaps be changing for the better, especially given the horrendous anti-Semitism that has always been around, but has been particularly bad in the last over a year.
I'm absolutely delighted that Donald Trump won. He was the man who, when he was president between 2017 and 2021, he actually recognised Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He moved the American embassy there. He recognised Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And I always knew that he would be very pro-Israel because there is a little-known picture in his office of him with officers of the Jewish National Fund, which I was a trustee of for 12 years, where he made a big charitable donation to the JNF. So I'm very optimistic, and you're starting to see one or two little things happen. Did you notice a few days ago that Qatar have told Hamas they're no longer welcome there?
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, that's quite a significant development, really, isn't it?
Yes, I think there will be probably far less in the way of negotiations with Hamas and much more in terms of defeating Hamas, wiping them out and rescuing the hostages, because that's the only way this is going to conclude. I also think we're going to see an end to the Lebanon war in the near future, and I think that Hezbollah will be wiped out.
Because of the Israeli military strength, you think? And what about America's role within that as well? Because there have been some mixed signals, certainly from Biden and indeed Kamala Harris as vice president.
I think Hezbollah will be wiped out largely because of Israeli strength, but also there will become a far more sympathetic attitude from outside Israel and a greater degree of understanding of what Israel is actually doing.
Yeah. Gary, we've talked about those potential protests a little bit earlier in terms of remembrance events, and I just want to ask our callers and our audience what they think of this, because I just think it's absolutely horrendous, and especially on the day that it is, to be even thinking about protesting, and these pro-Palestinian protesters. Just Stop Oil are involved as well. Let us know your thoughts. 0344 499 1000 is the number to give me a ring on. And Gary, we're seeing they're charged at national rate, those calls. I've got to say that once an hour now. We can see still the cenotaph and what is happening there. And on this incredibly solemn day, Gary, there are, as you say, some people who would disrupt that and disrupt what's happening tomorrow, and we need to remain very vigilant about that.
We do. I think that there is, to some extent, they want to try and make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
Some kind of rallying call for the Jew haters. That is essentially their objective. And the more outrageous their behaviour can be in any way, this method or any other method, then that's what they actually want to do, and they have to be stopped.
Why do they feel so emboldened, Gary?
I'm sorry, one of the things...
Why do they feel so emboldened? I mean, I know we've
largely because of the two-tier policing, two-tier judicial behaviour, and generally a way whereby the Jewish community seem at present to be kind of relegated in the eyes of authority and not treated the same way that, for example, the alleged far-right demonstrations were a few weeks ago, where we saw a man sent to jail for a long period of time for a relatively minor offence.
OK, Gary, thanks for your perspective on that. Gary, he is chairman of the National Jewish Assembly. Gary Mond there, thank you to him. We're continuing